Hi guys. So today we're looking forward to the FA Cup matchup against Newcastle. But before that game, which we will hopefully have a review for, and maybe even a halftime update or something along those lines, I just want to say a few words about the recent press conference after or during the preview of the Newcastle game that Pep had. And I want to keep this, um, you know, not political, but just want to touch on a few things that was shared during the press conference and some of the questions that were asked, um, especially to do with the non-football related ones. And I think this press conference was extremely important. I think the ideas and the notions that were shared, the questions that were asked were extremely important, and I think that it took great courage for him to voice out his opinion on these matters and uh, share his views. It's, I mean, you could say it's not the position for the coach of a football team to be delving into politics and social topics and things like that. But I think he was right to address these topics, especially in the context of what the question was. The fact that there is evidence of misjudgments. Let's call it, not necessarily wrongdoings, but then he led into the things that we see that is happening around the world. He mentioned Palestine, he mentioned Ukraine, he mentioned Sudan, and he made one point very clear. It is not for us to now decide between right and wrong. It's not for us to decide between left wing and right wing and um, who is the terrorist or who's the instigator or who's uh, the one responsible. But the fact of the matter is that there is loss of life, that there are people being killed, there are people dying needlessly, and that has to be addressed. And he gave a very good example of refugees. There are people in the boat out in the ocean without food and water, and now is not the time to ask the question, where are you from, what are your political leanings, what is your stance on this conflict or that conflict, or are you for or against this government or these people or whatever it may be. They're human beings in need, and that's the most important part of the conversation. Um, and the same can be said for, as he brought up once again, the situation in Minnesota. Um, the 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 jumping to conclusions, the instant lethality of the decisions being made. Um, it's, I mean, the whole concept of innocent till proven guilty is gone out the window. It's pretty much shoot on sight, um, and the stories that we hear And as Pep again brought up, the videos that we see, the evidence, the clear evidence that is available is damning. So, all that being said, it's not up to me to make decisions on behalf of whoever's in charge, or even suggest to them what has to be done. But the people that have elected said leaders, or um, or the ones that whose opinions actually matter, um, do seem to be voicing out, or making themselves heard. And so actions need to be taken. And yeah, that's about it. That's what I have to say. For the non-football side of things, this video has gone on longer than expected, so maybe I'll have it on the YouTube rather than the Insta. But yeah, I think the matters that were addressed during the press conference were, even though they, I mean, did divert from the question about the officiating and the referee situation, but it was vital that, when you see somebody or a group of people in need, no matter who they are, or who they are to you, and their political leaning, I mean, that's completely irrelevant at the end of the day, because they're human beings and they're in need, and they require a hand. So that's what you give them, uh, not a shot to the head. So yeah, I feel like that was something that he should have addressed, and did. So yeah, props to him. Um, yeah, so we're looking forward to the Newcastle game. Coming back to that, I will have maybe another post on what he said about the referee decisions. He brought up quite a few past instances on that as well. So we'll have an update on that, and yeah, hopefully this game goes well, and we'll have good things to say about that as well. So yeah, it is what it is. See you guys in the next one.